Hello, welcome to Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. This video is all about Callis and Toll and the Saviors of Cinderfall and whether or not the battle regiment for them is too good. Okay, let's talk about who and what they are. The Saviors of Cinderfall are a bunch of special heroes that we saw at the end of the Dawnbringer Crusade series, and they are our apparent kind of voices in Age of Sigmar 4. They were described by Games Workshop as being the kind of storytellers for Age of Sigmar 4. They are also Cities of Sigmar units. So if you're building a Cities of Sigmar army, you are able to take this unit. It is an interesting kind of unit in that it's 2 individual models that work as a unit and then 4 other models that work as an additional unit, but you pay points for all of them together. But where it gets really interesting is that they are a Regiment of Renown. What does that mean? When you're building an Age of Sigmar 4 army list, you can have 5 regiments. Each of those regiments is led by a hero, and that hero unlocks which units you can take in the regiment. A Regiment of Renown is a unique special narrative regiment where you can take certain different regiments of renown, and you can only have one of those in your army list. You interestingly can't take a regiment of renown in your own faction. So you couldn't take the Saviors of Cinderfall, which is the regiment of renown we're going to talk about, in a Cities of Sigmar army. But they're seeing constant play across loads of different order-based armies because of just how effective they are at murdering wizards. So let's talk about it, shall we? Because I think this is really fun. They're also in an animated series called Hammer and Bolter, which is officially on YouTube, which you can go and check it out. They are like almost the poster children of Age of Sigmar 4, which is kind of the reason I think that they're so crazy good. Let's go talk about what they are and how you use them. So they're 230 points. I am using a website right now called ageofindex.com, where it's got all of the war scrolls up for free, which is super easy to use. So they're 230 points for the Regiment of Renown. Like I said, you get 2 models, Callis and Toll in one unit, and you get Toll's Companions, which is 4 models in the other unit. The Regiment of Renown has got some special rules. The first one is Sigmar's Justice. This you do in the deployment phase. You pick an enemy unit to be marked for justice, and you can pick a unit that is in reserve. The effect is, for the rest of the battle, you can add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by units in this Regiment of Renown that target a unit that is marked for justice. Now, there's an important thing to talk about with Age of Sigmar 4. It seems, I've done lots of reviews of the different armies, it seems like it is what we're calling a centerpiece edition. Lots of the rules that you really want, like being able to summon units back in Nurgle, for example, requires a Great and Clean one. Being able to return other models back from the dead in Death armies requires Nagash in some cases. It's a centerpiece edition where many of your core rules seem to be located on these big, large units. So getting +1 to wound against them is really good. And most of those big, large units are also wizards, which is really good. We're also very actively encouraged to take wizards in Age of Sigmar 4 because you get manifestations for free. So being able to put lots of wizards on the board means that you're able to cast lots of spells and put all the manifestations on which are free to come in. So this means that you are keyed in with the meta or the existing game state that there'll probably be big monsters on the board, and those big monsters will probably be wizards. And this is really good because getting +1 to wound against them is excellent, especially with the abilities we're about to talk about. They also have a passive called Duty Bound, where while every model in this unit in the regiment is contesting an objective, add 1 to save rolls and ward rolls for the regiment as well. This is going to be incredibly good for making them survivable. All right, let's talk about first Toll's Companions. It's going to sound an odd way round to do it, but Toll's Companions has got 4 individual models. Each model in that unit has got 3 health, and they've got a 4-up save, unless they're contesting an objective, in which case they're going to have a 3-up save. And thanks to the passive The Saviors of Cinderfall effect, while a friendly Callis and Toll unit is wholly within this unit's combat range, which is 3 inches, both this unit and the Callis and Toll unit have a 5-up ward save. That 5-up ward save, if they're contesting an objective, is going to go to a 4-up ward save. So this just means that Toll's Companions, if they're contesting an objective and they're near Callis and Toll, is going to be 4 models equaling 12 health with a 3-up armor save and a 4-up ward save. That is super, super survivable. In addition, each model has got 4 attacks each, which hits on a 3, wounds on a 4 unless you're hitting your target, in which case it's going to be wounded on a 3, and then they're rend 1 unless you're fighting a wizard, in which case it's rend 2, and they're damage 1. So for a very cheap price of 230 points, you're going to be able to get Toll's Companions to have 16 attacks, 3s and 4s, rend 2 against a wizard, damage 1. But to help with their maneuverability, because they're fairly slow, they have 2 abilities. Hidden Agents, which you do in your deployment phase, where you pick this unit and friendly Callis and Toll unit in this regiment and that have not been deployed. You set up those units from reserve in the shadows. Those units have now been deployed. What's nice about this is you can use the Emerge from the Shadows ability in your movement phase, and then the effect is you set up this unit anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches from all enemy units, then set up the Callis and Toll unit that was set up in the shadows with this unit holding 6 inches of it and more than 9 inches from all enemy units. So this does mean in your first turn, if your opponent has left an objective unattended, you can just put these guys on an objective. Then they're going to have a 3-up armor save and a 4-up ward save, which is very solid. It means you also are going to maybe be able to do battle tactics from the board edge. You're also going to be able to do battle tactics where you're claiming terrain, which is also really good as well. And they give you a lot of maneuverability and a lot of survivability. But if anything, this is just the secret sauce on top of the actual hammer that you're bringing to Age of Sigmar 4. And that is Callis and Toll. Callis and Toll is 2 models, and each model in that unit has got 5 health. That is exactly the same as many of the foot heroes or the single heroes that we see in Age of Sigmar 4. That means that they've got a combined health value of 10. And considering we've already got 12 health of the Toll's Companions, this takes us up to a 22 health kind of grouping for the low cost of 230 points, which is wild. They've got a 4-up save, and as we've said, they can get a 5-up ward save, which goes to a 4-up ward save. So what we're really talking about with the Callis and Toll package for 230 points is 22 health on a 3-up armor save and a 5-up ward save. Oh, sorry, a 4-up ward save. That makes them as survivable as Rotigus or something like a Great Unclean One, but more survivable because they have a 4-up ward save, not just a 5-up ward save. So survivability through the roof, deployability through the roof, but it gets better. They have an ability called Right Tools for the Job, and the effect of that is you double the damage characteristic for this unit's weapons for attacks that target wizards, priests, and manifestations. So they're incredibly good at killing wizards, and we talked about the Centerpiece Edition already. Loads of wizards to kill. Manifestations are free, so loads of manifestations to kill as well. And priests are also not quite as popular, but they still also exist. So doubling the damage characteristic of their weapons, we'll come to their weapons in a moment. And then they've got a reaction called Get It Done. You pick a friendly Toll's Companion unit that's not used a fight ability this turn and is within this unit's combat range, which you're always going to do. The target can be picked to fight immediately after the fight ability has been used and this unit has been resolved. So we love that because you can just fight with both units simultaneously. Really good. Don't forget, though, there are 3 steps in combat. Strike first, strike medium, and strike last. If for some reason you've got a passive or an ability that gives Callis and Toll strike first, you won't be able to then make Toll's Companions strike first as well. You've always got to fight at the same step kind of thing. And then they've got a final passive, Wily to the Last. If this unit has 2 models that would automatically been destroyed, it is not automatically destroyed. Instead, 1 model in this unit is slain. So that's good. That means you've got that other survivability. They're so survivable. It's nutty how survivable they are. The fact that they've got 5 health each for 10 health is way more survivable than single foot characters that you normally would see. But here's where it gets really fun. They've got each model in this unit, so there's 2 models, has got 3 shooting attacks with their flintlock pistols at 10 inches. They hit on 3s and they wound on 3s, and then they're damage 1 unless you're shooting against a wizard. They're rend 1 unless you're shooting against a wizard, in which case it's rend 2, and they're damage 1 unless you're shooting against a wizard, priest, or manifestation, in which case it's damage 2. So it's going to be 6 attacks, rend 2, damage 2 against priests and wizards. That's pretty scary. But what's really, really scary is the Azerite Blades. 4 attacks per model for 8 attacks. Hitting on 3s, wound on 4s, unless it's your target, in which case it's going to be 3s and 3s. Rend 1, unless it's a wizard, in which case it's going to be Rend 2. And damage 2, unless it's a wizard, priest, or manifestation, in which case it's damage 4. So if you put that package together, that means in combat, Callis and Toll are going to do 8 attacks. You can make them hit on 2s, wound on 3s, Rend 2, damage 4. 8 attacks, damage 4 against wizards, priests, and manifestations. That is massive. That is bigger than most of the monstrous combat characters that you can see in Age of Sigmar 4. It's absolutely insane. So these guys are super undercosted on survivability and super undercosted on output against wizards, priests, and manifestations. And if for nothing else, a 230-point regiment that can hold an objective for probably the rest of time is amazing. So no wonder these are seeing play. I've just finished recording the Stats Center video, and they are in every order list, and I'm sure they're going to see them in more order lists as people build and paint them in the future. It's absolutely rock solid. And that's it for the Callis and Toll. Let me know what you think about these little short, snappy videos. If you want to see like little insights into units that people are playing and why they might be playing them. Because, you know, I think this is something that's going to happen a lot. Little regiments of renown that are going to be super popular, but these are definitely really good. Yeah, let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of this unit. Let me know if you're going to play them. They're also great models as well. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you soon.